Thank you, Chairman Flake, Ranking Member Cardin, and other members of the committee for the opportunity to testify today on the many challenges and opportunities facing countries in the Central African region. I'm pleased to be here with my friend and colleague, Tom Perriello, the Secretary Special Envoy for the Great Lakes region. Tom just returned from his most recent trip in the region and will provide more details on key aspects of our policy approach in the region and his own ceaseless efforts in that area. Also, we were both in Addis Ababa at the African Union last week, where we engaged with partners on key issues in the region. Though it's extremely challenging, the administration continues to prioritize efforts to strengthen democratic institutions, spur economic growth, and advance peace and security, and promote opportunity and development in Burundi, Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Central African Republic, and the Republic of Congo. We are deeply concerned with the ongoing political crisis in Burundi. During the AU summit, we were disappointed that the AU's Peace and Security Council determined that it was premature to deploy the African Prevention and Protection Mission in Burundi to Burundi. The entire AU Assembly of Heads of State later decided, and we were very happy with that decision, to send a delegation of 5 African heads of state to Bujumbura to urgently press President Nkurunziza for an inclusive dialogue. The delegation's mandate will include consultations with the government of Burundi on the deployment of the African Union Prevention and Protection Mission. In December, we decided 2 pro-government and 2 opposition individuals to our Burundi. We decided to add 2 opposition and 2 government individuals to our Burundi sanctions list, bringing the total number of 8 individuals who have been sanctioned for engaging in actions that threaten the peace, security, and stability of the country, and we're prepared to add more as appropriate. In January, AGOA trade benefits were withdrawn from Burundi due to continued violence, and we continue to support critical health services to protect the most vulnerable populations and provide assistance to promote reconciliation and dialogue among the youth. Before turning to our concerns about the current political and security situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo, I want to update you on the adoption crisis that is affecting many of your constituents. We have seen some movement. The DRC Council of Ministers recently approved and submitted the long-awaited draft adoption legislation to their parliament and committed to reconstitute in the Interministerial Commission to review the remaining cases. Now, I have to say we've been down this road before, and we will not be satisfied until these commitments are fulfilled. And at every opportunity, we raise this with our colleagues in the Democratic Government of Congo. And I want to assure you and your constituents who anxiously await to bring their children home that this issue remains a priority for the department at the highest levels. We're deeply concerned by the growing political crisis in DRC. President Kabila's final term in office ends in December per that country's constitution. Efforts by President Kabila's parliamentary alliance to amend the constitution or guarantee electoral delay have been vigorously resisted by the opposition as well as by permanent civil society organizations. Special Envoy Perriello will go into more detail on our analysis and on our approach to the situation, but it's our assessment that a choice by President Kabila to honor the Congolese Constitution and the wishes of the Congolese people to hold free, fair, transparent, and inclusive elections with President Kabila gracefully transitioning power has the greatest hope for building on the legacy of economic and social progress that he's made during his tenure in office. In Rwanda, we're deeply disappointed that President Kagame missed an opportunity to set a historic example and provide leadership to set his own country on a firm foundation of strong democratic institutions that can sustain the economic development of that country. It will be critical for Rwanda's government to allow even to encourage the free and unfettered expression of dissent and peaceful opposition, particularly in the run-up to local elections in 2016, presidential elections in 2017, and parliamentary elections in 2018. We're also concerned in Rwanda of credible reports that recruitment of Burundian refugees may have occurred in the past year in the camps in Rwanda. It is essential that Rwanda play a constructive role in addressing regional conflicts, and we welcome their public and their private commitment to support a political and not military solution to the crisis in Burundi. We will continue to closely monitor developments in that area. In the Central African Republic, December 30th, first round of presidential elections were peaceful with a reported 79% voter turnout. That was extraordinary for this country. And this hints at a brighter future after 3 years of gross insecurity, conflict, and political transition. Due to evidence of irregularities, the CAR Constitutional Court annulled the parliamentary elections, and as a result, a new round of parliamentary elections and a second round of presidential elections are scheduled to take place on the 14th of February. The United States wholeheartedly support the people of CAR in their pursuit of a peaceful and transparent transition, and we're watching closely the two leading presidential candidates as well as the losing presidential candidates who failed to make it beyond the first round to ensure that they continue to support a peaceful process. The people of Central African Republic deserve that. Republic of Congo, our bilateral relations are generally cordial, but have been tested in recent months over the issue of presidential term limits and repression of legitimate political opposition. While President Nguesso has not formally declared his candidacy, it is expected that he will run in the scheduled March 20 elections. We are disturbed by the arbitrary arrest of dozens of opposition supporters since October and opposition leaders who have been subject to harassment and disappointment. Just yesterday, we were shocked and even appalled by the brutal attack on retired General Mokoko, who recently declared his candidacy for president, and his supporters were subject to those attacks as well. I know that this is not the face that the Congolese people want to project to the world. We will continue to urge the government to respect the provisions of its new constitution that guarantees the freedoms of expression and peaceful assembly, and hold those accountable for the attacks that occurred yesterday. We are monitoring the run-up to the February 18th Uganda national elections. Report of the police using excessive force, obstruction and dispersal of some opposition rallies, harassment of journalists contribute to a climate of fear and intimidation. It is important to underscore the need for all candidates and their campaigns to refrain from inflammatory rhetoric that could incite violence. Chairman Flake, Ranking Member Cardin, and members of the committee, let me thank you again for giving me the opportunity to discuss our extensive engagement in the region. We will continue our proactive diplomatic efforts and coordinate with members of the international community to help address the issues facing the Central African region. I hope this information that I provided to the committee is helpful. I have submitted a longer version of my testimony in writing for the record, and I will look forward to your questions.